I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Okay, back at South Park. Last we left off, we were making some good progress, and then all of a sudden the display stopped working. And I had the ongoing intermittent issue of my controlled lamps sometimes working and sometimes not working. So I made a post in the Pinball Repair Help group. And did I have a little, I think I took maybe a little video, I forget. But Jerry Claus and Larry Hammer, at least those two chimed in, very, very, very knowledgeable individuals, and said that, well, Jerry said, oh, I don't think I mentioned this to you. When the display died, I popped in a new display, it wasn't that, and then I went ahead and checked the voltages to see if I was getting voltages to my display, and I wasn't getting the proper voltages at the connector. So that connector goes up to the display power board here. So I tried to get proper voltages right directly from there. That wasn't working. So I removed the connector and tried to get proper voltages directly from the headers off the power board there, and I was not getting the proper power. So there was an issue. I didn't know what it was. Made the post, and Jerry said that I should check all the fuse clips. I probably notoriously bad on these Segas. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know that for sure, but and especially the F22 fuse, because that is basically the AC voltage comes in here, and I think goes through the F22 fuse, and apparently this runs like a lot of everything on the whole machine. So I checked the fuse clip, F22, it was fine. And then I just right now, actually, this is kind of a side note, I did check all the fuses and all the fuse clips. I only had one issue where, so here's some extra information about fuses, and here's my little fuse bin. Used my last 5 amp slow blow from this bag, but one fuse was a 7 amp slow blow in the holder, which is this section here, but it was supposed to be a 5 amp slow blow. So that was the only issue in terms of fuse values. So this, I still have enough. I got some fast blow, I got some slow blow in there, so I don't need to order more. But, so that's all good. So the next thing I did, it was suggested that I investigate the big connector at the transformer. Let's see if I can get in there and show you. I have the playfield down right now, but that big connector right there, it's a large one, and it has large wires going into it, and it has those blue-white wires that are very important, I guess. So I just reseated that connector. I wiggled all the connectors, I wiggled all the wires, I kind of messed around, pushed on the fuse clips a little bit, and nothing was happening. So I reseated that big giant connector there, and then I turned on the machine, and I closed the coin door. I don't have balls in the machine, it's gonna get a little cranky for a minute, and voila, look at that, 18 volts. Are you going to start up at one point eventually, or no? No, you're not. Okay, I'm going to open the coin door back up. So my 18 volt LED is back on, and voila, my display's back, and voila, my lights are all back. So that is the weak point of this issue, is that big connector. So what I think I have to do is repin the blue-white wires off of that big connector. So that's what I've been doing for the last little bit. So that's really good progress. I'm very happy that it wasn't anything major. Not the display, not the display power board. I didn't think it looked too clean to have gone bad. So it's really just, I guess, that connector. And when I did disconnect it, there was a couple, I guess those red wires there, I don't know what they are. Let's zoom in a little bit. But you can see there's a couple red wires going in there. The connector housing was a little bit yellowed, like some heat was going through there, but I don't think that is related. But anyway, oh, and the other fun thing is if I wiggle that wire right now, I can get the machine to crash and reboot. So it certainly needs addressing, because I can't have, you know, you like wiggle the machine and all of a sudden the whole thing crashes, and can't be having that. So I'm just waiting to hear back on, I reposted that on Pinball Repair Hope Group to see if that is the best solution at the moment, is to just repin that connector, or at least the blue-white wires. So that's really good news. I think I can kind of proceed now. I wanted to resolve that before really moving any further. So let's get into some more fun stuff. I'm saving this for y'all. I've got this. First of all, I got this back from Kevin a couple of days ago. That is my trough. That had the broken welds on both corners there. Kevin did an awesome job. Looks beautiful, both sides. That weld should hold up for several thousands of games. And I don't know, maybe even clean this thing, because it's pretty shiny. I mean, I think I gave it to him in a little less nice condition, but thank you, brother. Much appreciated. I'm going to be installing that today, if it fits in there. Just gotta wedge it in there a little bit. Okay, so that's going in today, which means I'm gonna also be installing my apron. I'll clean this up. Uh-oh, screws going flying. Here they are. All right, I found them. There we go. And I believe my buddy Henry said he has some South Park custom apron cards ready for me. So that'll look real nice and pretty. So that I can install today. That's exciting. Okay, this I got this week. It is now Sunday. I got this a couple days ago. I got a few boxes coming. I don't know which this one is. So let's find out together. Ah, okay. This is good stuff. I think this is from Late Night on Pinside. If you have a South Park, go to Late Night, because he's going to give you what you need here. These are all in such bad condition on most South Parks. And he reproduces these. And we're going to... Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this with both hands. I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is, all unpacked. I gotta say, shout out and thank you to Late Night. I'll have to reply to you on Pinside personally, and thank you for this. Looks awesome, nice and thick, and then the side plastic that goes around there. Maybe it goes like that. That would make sense, I think. And then these are opto protectors and an extra little Mr. Hanky hand, because I guess these are usually broken off. And then this goes under there, and this is extra support, like so. Voila, that supports it from when Kenny's smashing his head into the playfield, that it won't break the plastic in the meanwhile. Okay, so this also reminds me how much of a shenanigander I am, because in, I think, the last video, I was over at my table and I'm looking at everything and I'm like, was it this one here? I'm looking at this plastic thinking, oh, crap, I gotta message that dude back and see if he has one of these. Well, I did, and he did. So I have one of these coming. But I already had one of these coming, so I guess I ordered two. I'm silly that way. Oops. But I am not sad about it, because I'll just resell it and try and get my money back. So, and I don't even know what condition it is in. I'm going to definitely use this one because it's thicker and I'm sure it's going to stand the test of time. So these opto protectors, I'm gonna guess go something like let's see. It's gotta maybe like no. No. What is it? Oh wait, this hugs the post maybe? Like so? Is that how that goes? Hugs the post, and then this one. Anyway, you can see the idea. It's going to protect the opto from getting smashed up. So that's pretty cool. Custom 3D printed and designed opto protectors. And I wonder, can you bend the Mr. Hanky hand? No, that's on there pretty good. But okay, so that's what's in that box. I am going to figure out what I need to do next, or what I want to do. Maybe I'll start with the apron. Also, on the pin side, club thread. Someone, I'd have to remember their name and give them a shout out, but changed all these posts, star posts, to green, and then put white rubbers on them to kind of sort of mimic like little Christmassy trees. And I went to see if I had any green posts. I do not, but I'm probably going to order some, because it's the subtlest little thing 90% of people wouldn't notice, but I think for the cost of $3, I think it would be a pretty awesome mod. Maybe 5, but whatever. Maybe 10, but I am going to do that, I think, because it looks pretty cool, and cool idea for whoever invented that. Seems like multiple people have employed that little mod. Okay, so I'm going to get back to work here, and I'll let you know how it goes, where I progress to, or what I fail at in the next session. I was just trying to put the speaker panel back and notice this ground strap is loose somehow. So just remove this screw. Appears as though it wants to go on that bracket there, but so this means someone either removed this bracket at one point, or the screw, or just kind of got overlooked at the factory. I guess it's very possible that the display went bad, but you don't need to remove this bracket. Yes, you do. Okay, so maybe if someone replaced the display once upon a time, they forgot to put that back in. So I'll add that. I don't know if it'll have anything to do with improving the... Sometimes there's a speaker buzz on a lot of these Data East Sega games, especially Data East, but Sega's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? So we'll add that back on there, and maybe if there is any buzz, maybe that'll improve upon that. Alright, so I'm back at the Kenny mech. I figured that I would readdress this. I did read that it's a good idea when you put this together to lubricate the posts right here and here and the holes, and I hadn't done that, and I thought, well, maybe I should do that. I read that kind of after the fact. I never really had it fully assembled. I still needed 3 more E-clips to go. And then I was also thinking, well, you know, while I have it apart, look at this. I didn't change the sleeves. I really should have changed the sleeves. Look how crispy that is in there. Just dirty, but almost looks burnt, but I don't think it is, because the wrapper is fine. But let's look inside for fun. No, yeah, that's clean. That's clean. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one step further. Change, there's 3 sleeves, 1 for each coil. 1 for left and right, and 1 for the big guy here. I'll probably do him as well. And then I was still trying to find out if there's supposed to be 3 washers on one side and 1 on the other. I did get information from one other Pinsider that his has 1 and 1. So I may remove 2 of these guys just to make sure everything's nice and uniform instead of on a bit of an angle. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, there's the 2 old sleeves. Definitely a little crusty. Put in these guys here, which are kind of like the translucent ones. I think I got those from Pinball Life? I forget. But anyway, they're in there now. And then I was going to replace this one. I removed the 2 screws here, then realized this plunger the only way to get it out is to, I guess, remove this roll pin out of this link, and then like remove the roll pin, pop off the link, and then you can remove everything. I don't see any other way. I can't think of any other way to get out the sleeve. So it's very smooth and clean, and I'm just gonna leave that one. So now I've got my Super Lube synthetic grease, multi-purpose lubricant with syncolin, multi-purpose colon usage, syncolin. Okay, well, multiple places you can use that, but I'm going to stick it in this hole, not anywhere else. And on this pin here, or pole, what do you call that thing again? Thingamajig? Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I get my Q-tips and my Super Lube. I'm going to lube this guy up, and then try and load these friggin' rockets that fired out again on me, and try and reload them back. I had a heck of a time putting these in at the same time of trying to clamp the two halves together. It was not easy, so there's got to be a better way. I'm just doing it the dumb way, I think. But anyway, let's put this thing back together. All right, I think I've got it back together again the way I want it. Got my lubrication added on the pivot points. Yeah, that's what they're called. This guy here. All right, so there is a nylon washer on either side, and then a metal washer. Okay, and then the E-clip, and then that just kind of moves freely like so. Now that I did remove one of the three washers there, there's a bit of a gap there that washer would fit in just fine and dandily, which means there's a little bit of play this way, which I don't seem to be the end of the world. So I'm debating whether I want to just leave it like that or put it back in, but this is a little more, the space is a little more even across here now. And most importantly, this moves way more freely than it used to. It doesn't get stuck, like kind of hard to demonstrate with one hand, but it's definitely moving happier than it was. So it's I think it's going to work perfectly basically the way it is. So I'll save this washer. I'll put it in the coin box just in case I want to stick it back in there. But I guess it's time to reinstall this mech. Maybe I should deal with the top half of Kenny first, because yeah, he is part of the equation. I'm not sure. We'll see. Definitely wouldn't mind getting a little bit of a cleaning too. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, if I'm going to install Kenny, I guess it's time to kind of clean up all this crap. I just threw a bit of water right here, and you can see it's in need of a bit of a cleaning. So I'm going to tackle that. Might as well do that while I'm at it. And then I might install the Kenny's bottom. Alright, look at that. A little bit of elbow grease, magic eraser, and water. That's all that took, and it's a lot better now. So I think I'm gonna install Kenny's bottom now. There might be some good order to do everything in, but I don't know what order that is, so I'll just wing it. Alright, Kenny's bottom is installed. Just did the 3 nuts here over the posts. So it's in there now. Wants to move back and forth, up and down. Oh, and here is this little area after the clear coat is dried. So it looks better. And I will clear the other little touch-ups that I did as well. But this is a high gloss And this will be like, you know, low gloss. So yeah, all right. Moving along. Wait, this toilet has got a cruddy lid. Someone must have got some Novus or wax on that. There we go. All right. All right, well, I'm gonna, just for fun, well, let's turn this off. Maybe this off. Oh, still got a glare somewhere. Just for fun, Kenny pivot dead. We're in solenoid test here. And here's the mech. So I imagine that's gonna be this going all the way up. So let's see what happens here. I think if I hit the start button, no, that changes the solenoid we're on. So let's go back. Kenny pivot dead, go to run, and here we go. We're gonna hit the black button. All right, cool. Seems fine. Now do we got a left and a right? Oops, let's go back here. Left flipper, right sling. Kenny left, here we go. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, seems to be fine. Let's go to Kenny right. Oh. It doesn't seem to be going back. Yeah, did you see that? Kind of returns okay from the left, but not really returning okay from the right. Let's see this again. So let's go right. And then he's just stuck there. Let's go left. So he returns nicely. Okay, let's go back to right. And see what happens here. Okay, so I don't know what that is. Why are you being a little bit gummy there, Kenny? Anyway, I'm gonna have to look into that. Thought we were pretty close to being happy there, but not quite. So we'll see what I can figure out. I'll be back. Okay, so I haven't quite really been able to figure anything out yet. Just that one spring doesn't return as well as the other spring. Now, I'd really like to be able to see it in gameplay. You know what I mean? That would kind of be the ultimate knowing whether it works or not. There's the space where that washer could go if I needed to. So not really sure yet. I mean, I cleaned everything. Is it like one of the springs just lost its tension? Like, what if I reverse the two springs? Would it be, you know, sticky going one way and not so much the other way? That's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I could certainly do that. I could attach Kenny's head or body, everything, and see what it looks like during gameplay. And if it looks okay, then we'd be fine. I wonder if I can like set this up in gameplay mode without assembling him, just to kind of get an idea if it looks like it's behaving, because the coils are probably going to pulse back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then it's just going to come to a resting position. It doesn't really ever stay one side or the other, right? So as long as it's free flowing and ends up back in its home position, then it should be fine. But if it ends up like over to the left and then Kenny wants to come out and die, then maybe that's why it kind of, he's a little more leaning to the left and smashes on the plastic. But I think I'm going to save that for another day. Didn't really have a whole lot of time down here today, so I didn't make much progress, really. I didn't even get the apron on. It's actually, I find it kind of convenient to throw in 5 balls and remove 5 balls for diagnostics purposes. So I might just leave the apron off, actually, for now. But I think next time I'm going to try and see what this looks like during actual gameplay. I'm not even sure that it will work unless I install the optos, but that's okay, I may do that. Anyway, slowly but surely, you know what I've said before, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, and that's seemingly the case with South Park, but that's okay. It's coming along nicely. It's going to be worth it in the end, and I'm not losing motivation, don't you worry. I'm super stoked. I still do have to wait for a couple more plastics before I can, or wait, no, what am I waiting on? Just this one plastic? I think that's it. Is that it? That might be it. Yeah, this is the one here. Got a new one of these coming. And I think everything else I've got. Oh, that's the other one. There it is. That's what I'm waiting for as well. So, you know, I can only go so far before I get those pieces, but I'm going to see what I can manage between now and then, find out about that connector in the cabinet. But yeah, so nothing too exciting on this episode. Not a whole lot of progress, just a little bit of action. At least I got my display back and my insert lights back, so that's a good thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe we'll get some more action on the next one, so we'll talk to you next time.